people. I want to talk about something that's not related to gaming at all whatsoever. But it's also not that family friendly, or it's kind of weird and uncanny. And I want to talk about Uncanny Valley because that thing has been popping up everywhere for me. I don't know about you, but it's coming back to me. And I want to talk about it. And I want to know where it came from in the first place. That's really interesting me right now. Now, before we even talk about Uncanny Valley and like where it came from and how and why, first we need to know what is Uncanny Valley. Well, first, as I said before, we need to know what Uncanny Valley is. And now, the definition of Uncanny Valley is that Uncanny Valley is at which point something that appears at almost, but not quite human evokes feelings of unease, discomfort, or revulsion in observers, rather than increasing affinity. And now, before you say, isn't that basically analog horror? No, it is not. Since often utilizes analog horror often utilizes the uncanny valley as a core element to create the sense of unease. The uncanny valley is a psychological concept describing the negative reaction people have to non-human objects that are almost but not entirely lifelike. Analog horror, on the other hand, is a genre of horror that uses aesthetics of outdated analog technology like VHS tapes to tell stories that are familiar yet unsettling, often incorporating themes of existential dread and paranoia. Well, so now that we know the difference, I think it's time to move on to chapter 2. Where did it come from? Okay, so now we're on the part where the main point of the video is. And so I did some digging, and I found out where and who invented Uncanny Valley. The Uncanny Valley was coined by a Japanese robotics professor, Masahiro Mori, in 1970 in his essay book Kimi no Tani. The concept describes the disquieting emotional response people have to objects like robotics or computer graphics that are nearly, but not quite, human-like. Pretty interesting, ain't it? So, I hope you guys learned something, because I definitely did. And now I can sleep a bit more peacefully, let's just say. So basically, long story short, it was made somewhere in Japan by a professor in like an essay, and he coined the term. So yeah, if you're ever wondering, you got the answer. Thank you for watching.